Are you feeling lost in life? And what was the Buddha's advice for finding your true path? Part 1. It's a feeling many of us know intimately, especially in the middle chapters of our lives. It's not a loud crisis, but a quiet, persistent sense of drift. You might have a good job, a family, a comfortable life. You've checked all the boxes you were supposed to check. But you wake up some mornings with a nagging question. Is this it? Am I on the right path? Or am I just following a map someone else drew for me? It's the feeling of being a passenger in your own life, of going through the motions without a clear sense of purpose or a true north to guide you. This feeling of being lost is not a sign that you have failed. It is a sign that you are waking up. It is an invitation to begin a new kind of journey. For over 2,600 years, the Buddhist tradition has offered a clear, practical, and profound guide for this very journey. It is not a set of rigid commandments or a belief system you must adopt. It is a path, a method, a kind of spiritual GPS for navigating the complexities of life with wisdom, integrity, and a deep sense of purpose. This is the Noble Eightfold Path, and in this series, we will explore it, step by step. To understand the Eightfold Path, it helps to use a metaphor. Imagine your life is a ship, and you are its captain, sailing across the vast ocean of existence. If you don't know how to read the stars or use a compass, you will simply drift at the mercy of the winds and currents. The Eightfold Path is the complete art of learning how to sail. It is traditionally divided into 3 essential trainings, and the first training is Wisdom Panya. This is your map and your compass. Without it, any effort you make is just aimless motion. This first training in wisdom consists of the first 2 steps of the path, right view and right intention. Right view, samadhi, is the map. It is not about adopting the right beliefs, but about cultivating a clear and realistic view of the way things are. It's about seeing the world not as we wish it were, but as it truly is. This means understanding the nature of our dissatisfaction or suffering, dukkha, seeing its cause in our own craving and clinging, and realizing the possibility of its end. It is a worldview grounded in impermanence, interconnectedness, and the law of cause and effect, the law of karma. Right view is the "you are here" dot on the map of reality. It gives us our bearings. The second step is right intention, samma sankappa. This is the compass. Once we have the map, we need to decide which direction we want to steer the ship. Right intention is the conscious and deliberate cultivation of wholesome intentions. The Buddha specified 3: the intention of renunciation, which means the intention to let go of clinging, the intention of loving kindness, the wish for all beings to be happy, and the intention of compassion, the wish for all beings to be free from suffering. We are consciously setting our heart's compass toward freedom and kindness, and away from craving and ill will. From this, we can deduce why this training in wisdom must come first. You cannot begin a meaningful journey without a clear starting point and a worthy destination. Any action you take, no matter how energetic, will be wasted if it's pointed in the wrong direction. Right view gives you the honest, unflinching truth about your situation. Right intention gives you the noblest possible direction to move in. Together, they ensure that the journey you are about to undertake is one that leads toward greater freedom, clarity, and happiness, not just more of the same confusion and drift. They provide the why that fuels all the other steps on the path. So, how do we begin to cultivate this wisdom in our own lives? We start with small, simple practices that shift our perspective. For right view, the practice is to become a gentle investigator of your own life. When you experience a moment of frustration or unhappiness, instead of just being lost in it, ask with genuine curiosity, what causes and conditions brought this feeling about? Notice the chain of events, both internal and external. When you experience a moment of joy, ask the same question. You are training your mind to see the interconnected law of cause and effect in action. You are starting to read the map. For right intention, the practice is the morning intention. Before you get out of bed or check your phone, take just 1 minute. Sit quietly, take a breath, and ask yourself, what is my highest intention for today? You can set a simple intention like, today may I act with kindness, or today may I meet my challenges with patience. You are setting your compass for the day. This simple act can reorient your entire experience. In summary, the journey out of feeling lost begins with the training of wisdom. We need a clear map of reality, which is right view, and a noble direction to head in, which is right intention. These 2 steps provide the essential foundation, the clarity and purpose for the rest of the path. But a map and a compass are of little use if your ship is full of holes and you're constantly fighting with your crew. The next stage of the journey is to make our vessel, our conduct in the world, strong, stable, and seaworthy. This is the second training of the Eightfold Path, ethical conduct, and that is where our exploration will take us next. What is one intention you could set for yourself this week? Share it in the comments below. If this introduction to the path resonates with you, please like this video and subscribe to Buddhism Wisdom, spirituality to continue the journey. Part 2. In our last part, we began our journey on the Buddha's Eightfold Path, the guide to finding our way when we feel lost. We explored the first training, wisdom, which gives us our map and compass, right view and right intention. We now know where we are, and we have a noble direction to head in. But a navigator with a perfect map is useless if the ship they're sailing is unseaworthy, if it's full of leaks, and the crew is in a state of chaos. The next stage of our training, therefore, is to repair our vessel. This is the second division of the Eightfold Path, ethical conduct, sila. This is the practical, hands-on work of making our life in the world a stable and harmonious foundation for our inner journey. This training in ethical conduct is comprised of 3 steps of the path: right speech, right action, and right livelihood. These 3 are about how we engage with the world and with other people. They are about bringing our outer life into alignment with our inner intentions. Let's start with right speech, samavaka. Our words are incredibly powerful. They can build up or tear down, heal or harm. Right speech is the practice of using this power skillfully. It has 4 components. First, to speak truthfully and avoid lying. Second, to speak in a way that brings people together, avoiding slander or divisive gossip. Third, to speak kindly and gently, avoiding harsh, abusive, or angry words. And fourth, to speak meaningfully, avoiding idle, pointless chatter that just wastes time and energy. Next is right action, samma kammanta. This governs our physical actions in the world. Its essence is non-harming. It is traditionally defined by 3 abstentions: abstaining from taking life, abstaining from taking what is not given, stealing, and abstaining from sexual misconduct, which means acting in ways that cause emotional or physical harm to ourselves or others through our sexuality. Finally, there is right livelihood, samma ajiva. We've explored this in depth in a previous series. This is the practice of earning a living in a profession that does not violate the principles of right speech and right action. It is about engaging in work that is honorable and that, ideally, provides a genuine benefit to the world rather than causing harm. Now, a common misconception might arise here. It's easy to look at this list and see it as a set of restrictive moralistic rules. Don't do this, don't do that. But to see it this way is to miss the profound psychological genius behind this training. The purpose of sila, or ethical conduct, is not to make you a good person in order to earn a reward in the afterlife. The purpose is deeply practical, and for this very life. It is to create a mind that is free from remorse, guilt, and agitation. Think about it. A life built on lies is a life of constant stress, of having to remember which story you told to whom. A life of harsh speech creates enemies and surrounds you with conflict. A life of harmful actions creates a heavy burden of guilt and fear. It is impossible to find inner peace or to calm your mind in meditation when your outer life is in a state of ethical chaos. You can't find calm on the ship if you're constantly having to run around patching leaks and bailing out water that you yourself have put there. The practice of ethics is the act of patching the holes in your ship once and for all, so you can finally have the stability to learn how to sail. It is not restrictive. It is liberating. So, how do we begin to practice this in our own complicated lives? We don't have to be perfect. We start by bringing a new quality of attention to one area. Let's focus on right speech, as it's something we engage in every single day. Here is a practice for this week, the 24-hour right speech challenge. For just one day or even just a few hours, make a gentle commitment to be exceptionally mindful of your words. Before you speak, post, or send a text, run it through 4 simple gates. Ask yourself, 1. Is what I'm about to say true? 2. Is it kind? 3. Is it beneficial or necessary? 4. Is this the right time to say it? Again, the goal is not perfection. The goal is the awareness that arises from the inquiry. Just holding these 4 gates in mind will begin to transform your communication. You will start to notice the habitual urge to gossip, to exaggerate, or to speak harshly. And in that moment of noticing, you have a choice. That choice is the beginning of a life of integrity. The second stage of our journey, ethical conduct, is about creating a life of integrity. Through right speech, right action, and right livelihood, we build a stable, trustworthy, and seaworthy vessel for our spiritual journey. This outer harmony creates the necessary foundation for deep inner work. It frees our mind from the agitation of guilt and remorse so that we can finally turn our attention to the final and most transformative part of the path. we now have our map and compass. Wisdom. And we have a strong seaworthy ship, ethical conduct. All that remains is to learn the skills of a master sailor, how to actually handle the rudder and the sails to navigate the ever-changing winds and waves of our own mind. This is the third and final training, mental discipline, and that is where our journey will conclude. Which of the 4 gates of right speech do you find most challenging? Share your thoughts in the comments. If this practical approach to ethics makes sense to you, please like the video and subscribe to Buddhism Wisdom, Spirituality. Part 3. Welcome back. In our exploration of the Buddha's Eightfold Path, we have laid the essential groundwork for our journey. In Part 1, we received our map and compass through the training in wisdom, clarifying our view and our intention. In Part 2, we built a strong and seaworthy vessel through the training in ethical conduct, bringing our actions in the world into harmony with our values. We are now ready for the final, most transformative stage of the path. We have the direction and we have the ship. Now, we must learn how to sail. This is the third training. Mental discipline, samadhi. This is the art of taming and mastering our own minds, so we can navigate the inevitable storms of life with grace, skill, and a steady hand. This training in mental discipline is comprised of the final 3 steps of the path: right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. These 3 work together as the engine of our practice, providing the power and the skill to move along the path. Let's begin with right effort, samavayama. This is the energy of a wise gardener. It is the conscious and persistent effort to cultivate a wholesome inner landscape. It has 4 aspects: the effort to prevent unskillful, negative states of mind from arising, the effort to abandon them if they have already arisen, the effort to cultivate skillful, positive states of mind, and the effort to maintain those positive states. It is the active, joyful work of weeding the garden of the mind and planting beautiful flowers. Next is right mindfulness, samasati. This is the master skill of the sailor. It is the moment-to-moment, non-judgmental awareness of what is happening as it is happening. It is being fully aware of our body, our feelings, our mind states, and the content of our minds. Mindfulness is the lookout in the crow's nest, the one who sees the changing weather patterns clearly. Without panicking, it allows us to know what is actually going on so we can respond skillfully. Finally, there is right concentration, samasamadhi. This is the ability to unify the mind, to gather all of its scattered energy and focus it on a single point. It is the result of sustained mindfulness and effort. If mindfulness is the sailor who sees the storm, concentration is the steady, unshakable hand on the rudder that holds the ship on course, even in the midst of the most powerful waves. It is the quality of a mind that is collected, stable, and not easily thrown off balance. Now we can see how the entire Eightfold Path works together as a beautiful, integrated system. The wisdom of right view and right intention tells us where to go. The ethical conduct of right speech, action, and livelihood gives us a stable boat. And the mental discipline of right effort, mindfulness, and concentration gives us the skill to actually sail it. Each part supports every other part. A clear intention, wisdom, makes it easier to act ethically. A life of integrity, ethical conduct, makes it much easier to calm the mind and concentrate, mental discipline. And a calm, concentrated mind, mental discipline, is the only mind that can see reality clearly and develop true wisdom. It is a perfect feedback loop of cultivation. This is why the feeling of being lost can be so persistent. We often try to fix our lives by focusing on just one of these areas. We try to think our way to a new life, wisdom alone, or we try to be a good person without doing the inner work, ethics alone, or we try to meditate without a clear direction or a stable life, mental discipline alone. The Buddha's genius was in showing that all three trainings are essential and must be developed together. So, how do we practice this final, active stage of the path in our busy lives? We can integrate all three aspects of mental discipline into a single powerful micro-practice that can be used anytime, anywhere. It's known by the acronym STOP. The next time you feel stressed, overwhelmed, or lost, just S. Stop. Literally, pause whatever you are doing. This is right effort, preventing the momentum of unskillful thoughts and actions from continuing. T. Take a breath. Take 1, 2, or 3 slow conscious breaths. This is a moment of right concentration, gathering your scattered mind and bringing it to a single point of focus. O. Observe. With the clarity of that pause, observe what is actually happening. What are you feeling in your body? What is the emotion present? What story is your mind telling you? This is right mindfulness, seeing your present moment reality without judgment. And finally, P. Proceed. Having created this space of clarity, you can now proceed not from a place of blind reaction, but from a place of conscious, wise choice, one that is aligned with your right intention. This simple 1-minute stop practice is a microcosm of the entire training in mental discipline. And so, we complete our journey on the Noble Eightfold Path. We began with the feeling of being lost, of drifting on a vast ocean. We have now been given a complete set of instructions for becoming a master sailor of our own lives. We learned to get our bearings with the map and compass of wisdom. We learned to build a strong and seaworthy vessel with the tools of ethical conduct. And finally, we learned how to master the rudder and sails through the skills of mental discipline. The profound and hopeful message of this path is that feeling lost is not a final destination. It is the starting point of the most important journey you will ever take. The path is not about arriving at a perfect, far-off shore. It is about the quality of how you travel, moment by moment. The Eightfold Path doesn't promise a life without storms, but it gives you all the tools you need to become a sailor who can navigate any sea with wisdom, integrity, and a calm, unshakable heart. The true path is not something you find. It is something you create with every conscious breath, every kind word, and every skillful choice you make. Which of the 8 steps of the path do you feel most inspired to cultivate this week? Share your intention in the comments below. If this guide has helped you find your bearings, please press the like button and subscribe to Buddhism Wisdom, Spirituality. Thank you for walking this path with us. May you travel well.